Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. So today guys, we are going to talk a little bit about the Kfir C.10, an aircraft that a lot of people actually want to be added in the game. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why we probably won't see it, at least on the tech tree, right? So what is, first of all, the Kfir C.10? It is an export model for an upgraded C7, so the C7 that we have, but with some differences. So the main one is obviously the nose. It carries a radome, right, for the use of the ELM-2032 radar. It's a very well-known radar that was used in many aircraft, and it is a PD radar. It's a pull stopper, nothing too fancy yet, with a planar array radar dish, right? And yeah, also uses much more modern avionics, and he has an in-flight refueling system as well. So that's the three main things that this aircraft is different from the original C7 and even the C2, right? Making it more modern than the original C7 Kfir, right? And it could carry the Derby missile. So yeah, Fox 3s, right? So we probably wouldn't see this missile yet. Of course, in the future when we get things like M120s and R77s, it could be added, but for now it cannot. And it also could carry the Python 3, even the Python 4. We have the Block 60 version, which is even more modern. If you ask me, it's even like more scary because it has an AESA radar. So yeah, and we also have the C12, which is basically a C10 but without the radar. So yeah, it's multiple variants that can be added, right? Of course, the Block 60 of the C10 wouldn't be added right now, but it can carry obviously even the Python 5, right? So a very modern missile for the far future of War Thunder, if we ever get to that. But the normal C10 could use the Python 3 and even the Python 4. So yeah, it's an aircraft that has the capabilities of being, even though it is kind of a third generation kind of situation there, it is very much a fourth generation weapon in the weaponry department, right? So yeah, and the Python 3s, I mean, they should be added to the C7 at some point too. So I mean, having it on the C10 wouldn't be that much the big of a deal, right? The Kfir C7, it was made from 2009 onwards, so it is a very modern aircraft, and it was built, as I said before, as an export aircraft. That's the reason why we might not see it in the tech tree. It's an aircraft that was never used by the Israelis. Of course, it was tested and developed by them, but it was never actually in service for them. Of course, maybe as an event vehicle or a premium, it would be perfect, just perfect. But it is understandable if they never add to it, to the tech tree of the Israelis, right? Even though a lot of people want these aircraft, right? The thing is that we can see it no matter what. I mean, they will do whatever they want, right? So maybe it will be added with some sort of, I don't know, different skins or anything like that. Maybe a test skin for the Israelis than before it was actually sold. I don't know. It's problematic, but even there, it can be added for the tech tree. It's just a skin after all, and it is an Israeli aircraft. So if somebody's going to get it, I mean, it should be the Israelis, right? It doesn't matter the skin that he uses. So even the C2 has Venezuelan or Colombian, I think, skin. I don't remember the other country that uses the Kfir, but still. So yeah, but the thing is that we have other things that are better to be added. We have two examples that I think are worth mentioning. The first one is the F-16C Block 30. Already did a video covering it a little bit, but still, the Block 30 in general would be just a much better aircraft in any way or capacity that the Kfir would be, right? And it even had the ability to use the M120s later, maybe the derbies, which, if you don't remember, the Pythons are the IR missiles developed by the Israelis, right? And the derbies are the Fox 3 missiles developed by the Israelis as well. The normal derby is very much comparable to the MO-20 and R-77 in range and performance, right? So yeah, so the Block 30 could carry the MO-20s and also the Python 3s, maybe the derbies. So it would be just a very, very good option as an aircraft. I mean, it would be better than the original F-16 that we have, the Nets. It would be better because it has also BVR. BVR could be added like right now. The advantage of the F-16 would be that it can carry Sparrows and A9Ls right now. And in later introductions of the Fox 3 missiles, the MO-20s, Python 3s, or even Python 4s can be added to it. So it's a much more broader kind of situation on weaponry, right? And also, of course, the Kfir C.10 can do some air-to-ground, precision-guided air-to-ground, but so does the F-16. So in general, the F-16 would be a much, much better option than the Kfir C.10 for a Tech 3 vehicle. The Kfir would still lack in a lot of things, especially the performance of it and the amount of missiles probably as well. So there is that. Another good option would be the LaVie. The LaVie is kind of an interesting aircraft. I mean, it is just a prototype aircraft. It never went into full production, but so is the Yak-41 and the F-16AJ, right? So yeah, it would be a cool addition just because it is a domestic design of the Israelis as well, right? So yeah, it kind of uses the same radar. Apparently the radar was kind of updated to be fitted on the C-10, so I don't know how different it is, but still it is basically the same radar as the C-10, and it would basically use the same weaponry. I mean, did they test weaponry? Probably not, but I mean, it could probably just find some manuals that probably will say the lists of weaponry that it could use. Some of them would probably just include the Python 3, Python 4, derbies as well, maybe a Sparrow or something like that. Probably not, right? But still, I think it could be a thing, probably for the derbies. So maybe not the best option right now if the Fox 3 is the only radar-guided missiles. So the F-16 would still be a better option, but still it's another option, right? So yeah, it's kind of like, we have three options of adding aircraft. One of them is kind of a stretch in the sense of prototypes, which is the LaVie, which we already have in game. The other one is a stretch on the sense of use the users of the aircraft, because the Israelis never used the aircraft. So are they going to add, for example, the C-10 that was never used by the Israeli Air Force for the Israeli Tech 3? I mean, nobody would get too mad about it because it is an Israeli aircraft, but still, we kind of don't have a precedent to that, so you kind of guess that it's probably not going to happen. That's why I say as a premium or event vehicle, right? Even though I prefer it to be a Tech 3, precedents kind of points to that direction, right? And another thing, the third one, as I said, F-16C, it would make a lot more sense. It's an aircraft that is already in game. We already know its capability. It would be just more of that for the counters, for more advanced aircraft for other nations as well. So yeah, and it would basically tick every single box that we need for the Israeli Tech 3 in the future, right? So it would do BVR, very good dogfights. The BVR would be very good as well because the radar is a very good radar on the C variant. Air to ground, anything basically, right? So it's a much more complete aircraft, and I would much more enjoy flying the F-16C Block 30 than any Kfir. If you've flown the Kfir, you know its limitations, and there are many of them. It's mainly the weaponry systems right now for the HBR, but still, you know how it is, right? But anyway, this is kind of a controversial subject because a lot of people would like to see the C-10 in the Tech 3 anyway. But leave it in the comments, what do you think about this? Do you think the Kfir C.10 would be a very good addition for the Tech 3? Or, I mean, as I said, I prefer it to be in the Tech 3, but we don't have precedents to this type of thinking, line of thinking on Gaijin's part, right? So we might just see as an event vehicle. So would you get it if it was an event vehicle or a premium in the far future? Of course, if we see something like this as an event vehicle, we probably will already have 4 plus generation aircraft. So yeah, let's wait and see, right? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave it in the comments as I said, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you.